What's up, boys? Back in the ready room, me and Cole talking new product updates. What do we got?
We got retention, sides, friction, bungee. So currently, we had that double pistol, single rifle, the friction retention, no bungee. Started getting a lot of requests and requirements for some form of retention, whether it's bungee or flap. So
The lesser two evils for us is to do the bungee retention.
with flap retention, like the measurements on all that material, it doesn't allow you the flexibility to have, an AK mag fit correctly, vice a 5.56 mag or 30 round mag, 20 round mag. You look at all these other different mags and lengths. So bungee retention gives the end user the most flexibility, and they can tighten these bungees down to their kind of individual need and what they're carrying and what they're putting in it. But basically upgraded our single rifle. It's still the same construction, but we have bungee retention. And basically, depending on what you're carrying in there, you adjust the bungees. You can, if you cut them, please hot knife them or use a lighter and tuck it away. I mean, I've tucked them in here in Mali before or something in between, but it's good to get rid of the excess, in my opinion. Then keep it kind of dangling and out there. But also has just a little webbing and kind of universal. You know what it is when you're grabbing for it, and pulls right off. That's probably the only thing that'll wear out is the bungee over time, depending on the weather, sun, how often you get wet. You have to replace the bungee just because it'll loosen up over time.
Yep.
But it's nice. I mean, still fits. Grabbed a AK mag. Still fits that. That was good. Moving over, still double pistol. Still can fit Glock, SIGs, 2011s, pretty much any pistol mag that you want, and adjust the bungee to whatever magazines you're running.
Yeah, I mean, just being honest, I never ran bungee retention. The stuff we got issued in the military had bungee retention, but I have yet. I mean, the internet's a pretty infinite place, and I feel like there are so many real dudes on there, like real SWAT team guys or shooting instructors, and I have yet to see dudes running through kit, real world or on IG, that are having to break bungee retention and go through it. So a lot of guys, they get issued the bungee retention, and then when they're going to target or whatever, they pop these things off because this thing has enough retention. Like, this fucker ain't going anywhere. So you can just leave the retention off. That way you don't have to defeat one thing just to be able to draw a mag out. Or you just take them off. Kind of whatever the end user wants to do. But yeah, really just making it custom for you and giving guys some options. But a lot of guys they're limited on their pouch because it has to have some sort of retention.
Yeah. I mean, I cut off most of the bungee or flap retention.
Yeah, I mean, you got your carrier?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, we got issued pouches, no bungee retention.
I mean, this goes back in the day, but it's like, I mean, I just ran this. It was a bungee retention. I had a thermo in here at one point.
Yeah.
And I had no issues, no concerns. It always stayed in there, jumping over walls, different stuff like that. But I understand to all the pencil pushers.
Yep. And one of the other things, dude, we looked at doing the flaps. The issues with the flaps, one, it costs a lot more. You have to redo the entire design. And then if guys don't want to run the flaps, they have to tuck them in. And we tested them. And the thing with that is you don't get the custability to run SIG, Glock, 2011 because it takes up so much space. That's why these things are really nice, because the bungee retention, like, this shit is so tight in there. That's why you can get away with it. If we had another flap tucked in there, you wouldn't be able to squeeze in a 2011 mag.
I mean, the differences too between, the Glock 19 mags and the Staccato 2011 mags, like, the flap is such a, it's a 3-inch difference.
Yeah.
So it's like either you have a long flap over 19 mags that are hanging down, and again, in our opinion, it's like, I feel like that has more of a chance to come undone, grab onto shit. Velcro's loud as well.
Yeah, you get this long tail that hangs down 2 or 3 inches, and just why that stuff's sitting in your kit, it starts to slowly eat up, and then you kind of just wear it all out. So for us, the bungee retention was the easiest form. We don't want to mess around with the original design, but you can kind of switch it up. Some guys just do overhand knots. Some guys will double it through and do a square knot on the back, and then take a hot knife and trim them. because once you know your length, like you're not going to run anything but 7.62 in this thing, you can leave yourself a little bit of play. That way you can do a finite adjustment, and if it starts to wear out, you can take it up a little bit. But yeah, I take this stuff and I tuck it away, usually down the molly.
I actually tape this knot too.
Yeah.
Tape it. But so with the double pistol, we went to a single pistol mag, but I got a Leatherman in here to show you that it doesn't have to be a mag. You can fit Leathermans, lights.
I've seen a bunch of dudes running, it looks like Kim lights or something.
Yeah. I
Like
mean,
some kind of...
It's universal to fit a lot of different stuff that guys are carrying and running with. I mean, again, this thing ain't coming out unless you want it to. Even if I want it to, it may not come out. Yeah, I was going to put a Snickers bar in here. But yeah, single pistol, still fits all the mags and all kinds of accessories. We went to a double, let's just say 5.56 rifle mag, although it fits different calibers, 300 blackout, AKs, all that kind of stuff. But
let me jump. Multiple reasons. One, a lot of dudes, especially guys that climb a lot of recce guys, a lot of guys do underweight stuff, they're pulling everything off their front and they're loading on the sides a shit ton. And a bunch of dudes were hitting us up, hey, I'm trying to go to a belt only system because we're climbing a lot, but they don't want to just go every mag. Like, do you have a dual mag purpose? And that'll kind of segue into a secret project you've been working on here for a couple months. It'll be released later this year.
Yeah.
That will incorporate something like this.
But yeah, I mean, it's nice. You can weave it onto whatever carriers you guys have, molly-wise, belts, anything like that. Still kind of universal. Believe it or not, moving to double rifle mags, we still have to be exact on the molly spacing, so definitely made sure the spacing was correct on all that, so it was universal, and it fit right.
Yep.
With that, we added 7.62.
7.62? Yep. Single 7.62. I mean, good, just a good universal pouch. There's so many different guys that are going different calibers right now, and I'll be honest, you never really know where the industry is going to take it, but they are definitely, it seems like everybody's trying to stick with 5.56-ish, and then all these new rounds are coming out, so you got to have something to accommodate them. Units get them, and they don't have any mags to go with it. I mean, we've ran through that shit before. Like, just no pouch to go with this new gun. Perfect. Got to make one right now. Go.
We're saying 7.62. I mean, this is a 308, and so it's more of the bigger caliber mags. I mean, this is a Sig Spear. Fits in there. Nice. All the HK fans. 417.
Or Cole's personal favorite.
My personal favorite.
You kind of look like a dummy.
The Genesis 12 gauge.
Like, I watched a thing with fucking Taryn Butler, one of these dudes. They were running around, and this thing, it looked like it was a 60-round mag.
Yeah.
But it was hard Kydex.
Yeah.
Dude, we've been running hard with this shit, and they don't come out. I'm so surprised. You think it would. You think it'd bounce around. It doesn't, man. It's actually a really clean profile, and I'm really surprised how good that gun shoots.
And you have enough bungee that you could bungee it if you wanted to, the retention. But yeah, and the reason we didn't come out with a double 7.62 version, because I'm sure some people are going to ask, is the spacing that you have to allow for 7.62 mag pouches will offset for the molly, and it wouldn't fit correct. So that's why we did a single. But it's good, universal, like DJ was saying. There's a lot of applications to it, and can kind of fit the end user's need.
Yeah, so I mean, like, if you guys were going to mount this on your belt, you can do that. It's just going to have one molly space and then mount on another pouch, vice being able to run them 4 spaces all the way across. But yeah, really, really slick system.
You can put some thermos in there too.
Yeah, man, just trying to do subtle upgrades.
Yeah.
Just trying to be more options for the guys actually carrying the stuff, and we appreciate all the end user feedback. You know, we didn't really realize that we kind of got to do whatever we wanted to when we were in the military. I'm like, I don't run bungee retention. Like, we're not running bungee retention. Then all these units are like, hey man, we're trying to buy a bunch of pouches, but they have to have retention. Like, yeah, okay, fine, I'll bite.
Yeah, and I've seen too, like, I mean, there's not a lot of bungee retention, to your point, running, but they usually have some sort of, you know, hard Kydex that's in there, that's a friction thing. Yeah. But it's limiting in the sense of it's designed for one fitment.
Exactly.
We feel like this is a minimalistic approach, not, you know, over constructed, not over expensive. really fits, the end user, whether it's just getting into shooting or the high-end professionals.
I mean, I like it. That's why I like running the 5.56 because I can stuff dual pistol mags in there and I don't look like an idiot. So when we're doing pistol only courses, I can run a bunch of them on there and I don't feel like I don't feel like a TikTok influencer or something. I just pull them out and show them 5.56.
I actually tested that this fits a king size Skittles bag.
Of course you would have. God, you fuck.
We don't want Instagram to shadow ban us, and we can't show mags, so I was going to put a king size Skittles in there and just label it 7.62.
Yeah. Creative ways to get around the shadow ban.
Yeah.
Well, fellas, I think that's it. We'll drop in the details on when these things can be released here soon, but
All colors.
all colorway to include black multi. Everything. We're launching them all. But
Yep.
yeah, looking forward to it, fellas. Appreciate the support and we'll talk soon.
Thanks.